This is how you should perform exercise left something behind. As you might be aware, this exercise is carried out on a residential street. Now, if you're passing the parked vehicles, you've got to indicate right, you've got to check the blind spot. And also when you pass the vehicles, you've got to indicate left and check the blind spot on the left to see if the first car or the last car that you passed started to move. When the assessor asks you to stop on the side of the road, keep away from any side intersections or T-junctions in front of you. Keep away from any bus stops and fire hydrants. Select park position, secure the car by pulling the handbrake on and wait for further instructions. Shortly after you stop, the assessor will ask you to drive off, check your rear view mirror, indicate right if there's no one overtaking you, and then check your blind spot before you take off. You will not know when the assessor will ask you to come back to the house. Generate speed as usual. When the assessor goes, I'd like you to go back to that place because you've left something behind, pick the best and closest option. This time I'm going to make a U-turn at the T-junction. When I do, I've got to give way to the opposite direction, and if it's safe to proceed, just continue. Don't have to indicate left here because it's not a roundabout. Some people make that mistake. Now, we've got to overshoot the place where we initially parked and use the next door driveway or a little bit further down, whatever's available. If you choose to use the driveway, just don't overshoot the letterbox line. It's called property line, so you shouldn't go any further than that. You can slightly angle your car to the right if you're reversing to the left, but that's up to you. Now, pay close attention. This is where most people fail. They don't check the rear window. If somebody appears from behind, you would have to stop and freeze, even if you're halfway out. Don't forget when you are stopped on the side of the road that you've got to check the mirror, you have to indicate right and check the blind spot. Don't forget that you are stopping at the same address because the examiner will not remind you. The reason I shot this video from this perspective so you can see how to observe properly. The majority of people who fail the exercise left something behind don't fail for path or movement, they fail for poor observation skills. Go back to the beginning of this video and see how I actually passed parked vehicles. You've got to do it like that. There's no any other way. You have to check your blind spot twice. First time when you're deviating out to the right, and then later on when you pass the last vehicle to see if the vehicle is moving. Also, when you're reversing out of the driveway, observe exactly how I showed you in this video. That way you're not going to lose any points for observing. We have several videos on other options how you can do the exercise left something behind, so make sure you check them out. I'll put them in the link below. As always, feel free to ask any questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.